So dream with your eyes wide open. Don't limit yourself to dreaming with your eyes closed. Hello, hello. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. And today I wanted to do something a little differently. I've told you before that I wanted to have open discussions with you guys. So I thought today we could start something I like to call heart to heart sessions. And basically, what that entails is it's just me talking to you guys about things that are on my heart. And there has been a reoccurring theme in my life as of lately. So I wanted to tackle self doubt and feeling like a failure in your 20s. So I've been seeing a lot of posts on social media, specifically about how young people in their 20s feel like complete failures in their lives, when in actuality, your life has just begun. Me, myself, I'm currently 26, and I have so many friends and so many peers who feel like they're behind already. They feel like they're not on the right path, and I know personally I'm guilty of this as well. I'm in and out of this space of self doubt and just being super critical of myself. And quite frankly, that's just unacceptable to me. Like, it's been going on for too long. And the fact that so many young people feel this way, that really bothers me. I want this video to not only be a message to you guys, but also a message to myself as well. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself credit and give yourself grace. And let me let y'all in on the tea. No matter how put together a person looks online, no matter how well they look like they have things figured out, girl, we all just figuring things out as time goes by, as it's happening. People like to make you think everything is exactly the way it should be, or they're exactly where they want to be in life. But honestly, we're all just taking it one day at a time. We all face hard times, we all fall short, but the thing specifically about social media, no one's really showing you their trials and tribulations. People aren't really showing you their pain. They're showing you highlighted reels. They're showing you the times when they're vacationing, when they're having fun, when they're living their best life. And you interpret that as, oh, this is how your life is all the time. And that's simply not true. These social media outlets are created in a way where and marketed in a way where you feel like you're behind, so you'll buy more, so you'll want more. I'm telling you, it's working exactly the way they want it to work. So I have a few tips and methods that I use just to help keep me grounded and just to remind me that I'm on the right path. And I wanted to share them with you guys. So the first step is really just remembering that you're exactly where you need to be. And I know that can sound depressing at times because you're like, I don't want to be here. But you're where you're supposed to be at this present moment. And even though you're where you're supposed to be, I encourage you all to be intentional. Intentionally find out what you're passionate about. Intentionally find out your likes and your dislikes and how you can use those things to better the world. For instance, my umbrella purpose is helping others. So whatever I do, I know that it'll fall under that umbrella of helpfulness. And if a job doesn't allow me to help someone or people in any shape, way, or form, then I know that's not the path I need to take. I'm very hands-on. I love engaging with people. I love interacting with people. And if a job doesn't allow me to do that, I don't want it. You can keep it. You can have it. Because I understand that these are my strong suits. I understand that communication is something that I'm passionate about. I understand that helping is something that I'm passionate about. So there's a plethora of jobs that entail those two things. And really, that's just how I narrow it down. Because what I'm not going to do is apply to a job that doesn't allow me to do those things. Because already you're going to be miserable day one. Yeah, you're getting a check, but are you happy? So I've done some soul searching to try to figure out what I'm innately good at, and that can be just me composing a mental or a physical list of these different things. And I would encourage you all to do the same. For instance, I know that my talents are communicating effectively. I know that I'm good at writing, I'm an excellent public speaker, and I'm also very creative. And my ability to understand is out of this world. Like, honestly, even people I don't want to understand, somehow I still understand them. And to me, I feel like those are talents because not everyone can do those things. So it's important that you recognize what you're innately good at. And then once I recognize my talents, I ask myself, what can I do that allows me to use these talents and these skills? But more importantly, what can I do that allows me to grow these skills too? Because there's always room for progress. Just because you're good at public speaking doesn't mean you can't be better at it, you know? So also make sure that you're seeking out opportunities that allow you to become better, that allow you to grow in some shape, way, or form. Because what you don't want is to be stagnant, to be at the same skill level you were at 5 years ago. Okay, so now you figured out what you're good at. The next step is to figure out what you actually enjoy doing. Because it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I'm a good writer, but I don't like writing. You know, those two things don't coincide. So if you're gonna do it, make sure you like doing it. Because like I said, it makes no sense to be miserable in whatever career path you pursue and whatever opportunities you pursue. You don't wanna wake up in the morning and go,
what am I doing with my life? Honestly, I don't even like this job.
That's what you don't want. Because you can be good at something, but that doesn't mean you have to do it. You can be good at something, but that doesn't mean you're drawn to do it. You want to make sure that there's kind of this pull in you, you know, and that pull that you feel is really your purpose speaking to you. And I've had to learn this the hard way. You can try to run from your purpose, but it's going to chase you down. You know, you try to tell yourself, oh, well, I'll just live this way because it's more convenient or it's more stable. But you're going to be miserable the entire time and you're not going to be living up to your fullest potential. So figure out where your passions, where your talents, and where work meets. Wherever those things coincide, that's what you should be doing. Really, I set daily reminders for myself to encourage me to be great. These reminders help me remember what I want to be intentional about in my life. So every day there's these alerts on my calendar as well as my alarms that go off that remind me to speak positivity and greatness over my life. One reminds me to be kind to myself, and another one reminds me to eat for self-love. Where I'm at in my life at this present moment, those are the three things that are really important to me because I realize that it's where I've fallen short in the past. So now each day I allow myself to, one, get a fresh start, but to remember these things because these things are important to me. And also another thing that I do, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I've decorated my living room with different people as well as pictures and quotes that inspire me. And one of the quotes says, faith over fear. So every day I look at this wall, I'm reminded of the things I want to implement in my life. Another one says, be bigger than your excuses. Because let's be honest, we will make an excuse for any and everything in our lives. And it comes to a point where you have to say, no more. No more excuses. I'm going to be bigger than this. I'm greater than this. I'm not going to let this stop me from doing what I'm supposed to do. Oh, and another one, I can't believe I forgot that one. It says, dream with your eyes wide open. And to me, that is so important because if I haven't said it enough, I'm really big on purpose. And I just feel like so many people don't live up to their potential because of just the idea, the illusion of what a 9-to-5 job can do for you. And I'm not knocking 9-to-5 jobs. If you have a 9-to-5 job and you're fulfilled in it, kudos to you. But what I'm saying is, since you were a child, there has been this pull in you, in your heart, to do something else, but you've been afraid to do it because someone told you couldn't do it, because you thought maybe it would be an inconvenience to you, maybe because you thought fear should dictate your footsteps, maybe because you just simply didn't want to put the work in, or because you just simply thought it was a dream and it couldn't be a reality. That's also not true. You can turn your dreams into a reality, no matter how far-fetched people tell you that they are. And the thing about listening to people, I wouldn't recommend it, honestly. Unless they're speaking love and positivity and encouragement over your life, you don't need to listen to those people, because people have a way of really pushing their fears onto you, pushing their negative ideas and opinions onto you. And if you listen to it enough, it begins to consume you, begin to consume your thought process. And pretty soon you're like, well, maybe I can't do it, or maybe I shouldn't do it. And baby, you can do anything you put your mind to. Point blank, period. Don't what anybody has to say about it. I don't care if your mama said it, your granddaddy said it, your dad said it, your uncle said it, whoever said it. Don't listen to them. Because truth is, you are on this earth for a reason. There is a purpose behind it all, and you will be doing yourself a disservice if you don't pursue the things that you are truly passionate about. And don't get stuck in the life of comfort, the life of doing what's expected. I know a lot of people tell you this specific job is the way for you to go because it provides security, it provides stability. But maybe that's not your path. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're supposed to be going this way. And the thing about success and greatness, there's multiple different paths you can take. There's not just one way you can go to become successful and to become great. Multiple different people have become successful in their own ways because they are smart enough to realize that they should do what they love and they should do what they're passionate about. So dream with your eyes wide open. Don't limit yourself to dreaming with your eyes closed. And I promise y'all, I do not have it all figured out, but it's one thing that I do know for sure is your 20s are full of anxiety. They are. They're full of doubt, but they're also full of self-discovery. This is a time for you to really build up on your self-awareness, to gain confidence, and to really trust in yourself as well as trusting in the process right now. And let's be honest, unless you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth, oftentimes your 20s are also full of financial instability. I've been there. I've done that. So trust me, I understand. You don't have to be 21 or 23 and have or make six figures. You know what I'm saying? If you do, then girl, round of applause for you. But that's not everybody's life. And just because this person has six figures or just because this person is a millionaire, it doesn't mean you're a failure. This is a journey we're all taking day by day, one day at a time. And let me tell y'all something. One thing about me, Tiara will quit a job. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. If I'm not feeling fulfilled in a job, or if I feel like I've outgrown a company, I will turn in my 2 weeks. And I'm not like, I don't do it impulsively. Like, oftentimes there's been something telling me I need to quit for a matter of weeks or for a matter of months. But it comes to a certain point where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Y'all be good though. Thank you for the experience. Thank you for the opportunity. But my time is up here. And it's okay for you to do that, you know? And honestly, I feel so grateful because our parents, our grandparents, they didn't have that privilege. You know, we come from people who worked the same job for 30, 40, and 50 years. Were they fulfilled in those jobs? Most times, no. But that was how they provided for their family and how they put food on the table. I don't have any kids. The only mouth I have to worry about feeding is myself, and I have been doing just fine thus far. And one of my biggest fears personally is waking up 40 years from now and realizing I wasted my life. Realizing that I lived a life in vain. Realizing that I didn't live up to my fullest potential. So for me, God has provided me with the resources and the tools to be great beyond measure, to follow my dreams, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. Even if no one else believes in me, I'm going to believe in myself. I'm going to bet on myself. And I promise you, once I made that decision, my entire life shifted. Life is too short not to walk in your purpose. And that is a crucial part of my journey. I am very much purpose driven. I don't mind removing things, jobs, or people from my life who don't align with my purpose and who don't really add some form of positivity, some form of growth, or some form of love. If you don't provide those things, then what are you doing here? Why do I need you here? Because it seems like you're just adding extra baggage. And extra baggage is one thing I do not need. I like for all the things in my life to serve a purpose. And that's material things, that's people, and that's also work. If you don't serve a purpose in my life, you gotta go. You gotta go. And that's not even being cruel. That's not even being rude. That's just me being real. Point blank, period. I'm choosing myself at the end of the day, each and every day. And I encourage y'all to do the same thing. This is your life. And the only person you should be living it for is you. Progression over perfection. Perfection isn't really attainable, let's be honest. But as long as I'm taking steps in the right direction each day, then I'm satisfied with that. And one of the ways I do this is I compare myself to where I was last year, or where I was 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Now, if all of those time frames look the same, you're not doing something right. You're not. You've dropped the ball, but there's time for you to pick it up and do better. But in my life, what I can say personally, when I look back to last year or 5 years ago, I've grown in some shape, way, or form. I've become a better person, you know, and it's better. I'm better in some way, whether it be mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually. Something in my life has grown for the absolute best. And that's the goal. Grow in some shape, way, or form. And that's what I mean by giving yourself credit, because inside looking out, oftentimes you can't see the differences, especially when it comes to yourself. I know I give myself a hard time, and there's a lot of times where I do something great, other people recognize it, but I'm just like, I don't see it, I don't get it. But when you take a step back, it's like, oh, I did that. I did that. And that's why I love documenting my journey as well, whether it be taking pictures or doing voice recordings or video recordings. I just love to document where I'm at different times in my life. That way, when I look back on it, I can say, you have grown. Or you're not that girl anymore. Or wow, it's crazy that you used to think like that. But you're able to see how far you've come. Just give yourself credit, okay? Because I promise you, you've gotten better in some shape or form. You probably just not giving yourself enough grace to see it. And lastly, I just want to remind you guys to have faith. Have faith that at the right time, the right door will open. Things may not always happen exactly when you want them to, but they happen exactly when they need to happen. So your life plan isn't going exactly the way you want it to go or at exactly the right pace you want it to go. We are all figuring it out together. We're all in it together. And one of the things about plans, they fall apart or plans change. I think honestly it's really unrealistic sometimes to have the same plan that you created when you were 10 years old, or to expect the same plan you made when you were 5 to still be happening. It's different experiences, different opportunities in your life that come about that have you thinking differently, that have you following a different path, and that's okay. It's okay if your plan changes. It doesn't mean you're failing or you behind. It just means that something greater is happening. Something amazing is happening. And I know oftentimes we think too small. Sometimes our plans are too small for what's ahead of us. Sometimes we need to think bigger, because there's usually something greater in store, but we're hindering ourselves by the small plans we created 10, 15 years ago. And if you guys take anything away from this, I want you to understand that it's okay to not be okay. You don't have to have it together all the time. Sometimes you have to fall apart. Sometimes you have to fall apart in order to get stronger, in order to get better. And that's okay. I don't ever want you guys to feel like because of social media or because of what you see in movies, in videos, or in magazines, you're not enough. Because you are. You are absolutely 100% enough, and you're entitled to a bad day. No one said it had to be sunshine and unicorns and rainbows each and every day. There's gonna be some storms, and there's gonna be some rain, and that is completely okay. Just don't be too hard on yourself, because it's normal to feel this way. I would love to hear how you guys combat self-doubt and anxiety in the comments, so feel free to type whatever's on your heart and whatever's on your mind. I would love to connect with you guys. I hope that this video, these words, meet you wherever you are in life. Keep your head up. And until next time, Love and light.